Hello and welcome to another episode of This is Australia. Now, we did change the title and we called it This is Australia and Beyond, because this is not just about Australia, but many places around the world that we're visiting. Let's go back to LA. Now, there's so many wonderful things about LA. We looked at a lot of things in the previous episodes, but one of the things that I loved, it was the way that they just used the trucks in just about everything. And we looked at the amazing big cars that they have everywhere, and then we looked at the trucks, the big long nose trucks that they've been used not just only for carrying things, but also they just throw a bus in the back of a truck and they make their buses. But one of the things that I loved over there was the fire brigade trucks. Oh, I mean, we've seen them in the movies everywhere. Now, for the first time, I was so lucky to just see them real time. And I was amazed by the different types of trucks. And some of them, they look really old. But I tell you what, these Americans, they know how to look after them. I mean, look at this one here. This one here, I think it's from the 60s, but looks brand new. And this huge truck carrying this big ladder. It is amazing. And the other trucks that I've seen, and I really liked, well, I suppose we have to go back a few hundred years ago. And you can see now what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Wells Fargo. Well, I've seen them, and you have seen them everywhere in the movies. They used to carry the gold or the money from the bank. Well, you don't see the carriages anymore. But I don't know, for me it was fascinating to actually see the trucks, the Wells Fargo semi-trailers. And then the banks. I don't know, I'm sure that they're banks, but these buildings, they are Wells Fargo. And I don't know, from the movies we used to watch to the actual today's trucks and buildings, it was kind of strange for me to see it. Now, wherever you go, one of the greatest ways to see any city you're going to, it's this, I don't know, what would you call them? You call them convertible buses, but buses without roofs. They're incredible. We just use them in Los Angeles and New York. And you can find them in Athens, in Corfu, everywhere you go. We just witnessed one going past right through the arch over there. And it's the best way to see any city when you're going on your holidays. Let's have a look at another subject, which I wasn't very impressed with Los Angeles. Now, in Sydney, I don't know, we do things different down there, different than LA. So for example, when we have a truck, or have a load on a truck, it's illegal not to cover your load. It makes sense. Okay, I think we over-policed over there, but that particular thing, I think that they're pretty right, because it's dangerous. So, cover your loads. Otherwise, you pay a fine. That's in Sydney. That's in Australia. What happens in Los Angeles? Well, they have a lot of freedom there. But the question is that too much freedom? Good or bad? Is it positive or it could be negative? So for example, any truck that we looked at, it didn't have a cover load. Look at that. Look at these videos. Every single one of them. This one here is going right through the middle of Hollywood. This is the Hollywood. It's not just any place. And he's just full of garbage bags. All the way to the top. And he's driving in the middle of Hollywood with the load uncovered. Come on, guys. Come down to Sydney and we'll teach you some lessons. Okay, I think that you're missing out on that a little bit, my dear Angelinos. You have to do something about it. It's not too bad. Just put a fine. Why not? Follow our lead from Sydney. Yeah, cover your loads. Otherwise, you might cause an accident. The next thing that I didn't like about LA is the condition of the roads. All right, I'm not saying that here in Greece, for example, the roads are better. They're worse, much worse. They don't have the money, I don't know, a crisis or whatever, and the roads are really bad. In Sydney, they're not too bad. Some places they could do a little bit better, but they're not too bad. But over in LA, come on guys, you know, you got this Hollywood, you got this Beverly Hills. You know, the roads haven't been surfaced for about 20 years or so. They're very dangerous because, you know, they're very slippery. They're really worn out. You can see now on your screen. When it rains, I suppose it hasn't rained for 5 years, so it doesn't really matter. But no, it is dangerous. So just resurface your roads. Come on, you make so much money, guys. Come on. Oh, it's Hollywood there. I don't know. Do you? You must. So a lot of the roads, condition, very bad. I mean, you go with the car and it just shakes like the snake that I'm gonna eat later on. So, no, I wasn't very happy with the roads. I think that's a minus for Los Angeles. So out of 10, I would just give only 4 for the roads. And it's losing a lot of the points to be the perfect city in the world is the amount of homeless people that we've seen around. And it's pretty bad. Okay, we do have in Sydney homeless people as well. You can see them in Athens. And I think that it's a problem all around the world. Not just in Los Angeles or Athens or Sydney, but I wouldn't believe that in Hollywood, for example, you have people out there that they were just begging just outside in the beautiful footpaths there with all the stars. We went for a coffee, a horrible coffee, sorry, at Starbucks. Sorry, Starbucks. I don't know. They don't know how to make a proper espresso. Just go to Italy, have a look how they make it. Just get some Italians in. They can show you. But that coffee was horrible. And then they gave me that big spoon like this, the timber spoon. It was about that big. Yeah, like that. Oh, no, like the fish, that big. The fish I caught, it was that big. Yeah. What? The coffee. Yeah. Please do something about your coffee. Come on. This is America. This is America. We're the best. Or you're the best. Just something about your coffee. And then about your homeless. Okay, in Beverly Hills, they have an amazing system. They have the ambassadors. And they are there to look after the homeless. I think that's incredible. Why can't we just do it in other parts of the city? Why can't we just do it in Hollywood? You know, it doesn't take long. I mean, it's supposed to be a very rich city. Hollywood. It's Hollywood. Hollywood. Yeah? You should do something about it. I mean, you know, there's stains everywhere when you just go through the downtown Hollywood, the main city with the high-rise, beautiful city. Such an amazing city. Now, apparently these people are actually homeless because they came there to work. They did some work at Hollywood and they were waiting for the next role, which didn't happen, and they spend the money and they become homeless. But something needs to be done. It's very sad. Okay, the weather is much better than other places, so a lot of Americans, they move over to Los Angeles because of the weather as well. But I think that, you know, we have to do something about these people. I'm sure that there's something you can do, like they do in Beverly Hills. Okay, in Sydney too, we have the same problem. We have in Australia 125,000 homeless. In Australia, we're a very rich country. Or are we? We are not very rich. If we have homeless like that, we're not very rich. I understand it in Athens. There's a lot of migrants over there that they come illegally. And the center of Athens is full of illegal migrants. And they're homeless. All right? So let's do something about that. And the final thing about Los Angeles, that was negative and it didn't score many points. No, it's not very important, but I don't know, for me it was funny. In Sydney, all the fines that they get doing illegal things, they have so much money over there, and their signs are number one. In LA, they were a little bit, I don't know, flimsy. They just, you know, had a little post about that big with holes in it or something, I don't know, like a fluyera, a flute. To me, it looked funny, you know. It took out of the glamour I mean, what difference does it make if you have a little post like this or if you have a proper nice post like, I don't know. It's just, to me, when you're in Beverly Hills, it needs to be perfect. Absolutely perfect. And those two little things, the roads plus the signs, took a little bit out of that perfection. So instead of 10 out of 10, we give them 9.9. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Well, when it comes to busking around here in Corfu, you get some of the students here from the musical university, and they go out there on the streets and they play some beautiful Cretan music, which is quite nice to hear. But when it comes to Hollywood, though, things are completely different there. And this is the beauty of Los Angeles and Hollywood. Have a look at those videos that we got from Hollywood. It's incredible. Like, all the different characters from Hollywood come alive there in front of you. And the fun, it's incredible. You could spend a whole day just there in Hollywood, just checking out these particular people. They are all so professional, they're so good that you just don't care. Give them the $2 or $3 or $5, even $10. Where do you start? Now check out this Zorro, for example. But the one that really fascinated me was actually these dancers. Now have a look at this. They came through with a stick and you heard it. They came through in his bitch and never sweat. I can't believe the blood ain't on my shirt. Because he got hit close range. We be talking stick talk, we be talking bricks too. We be talking lick talk, and I'm a fucking bitch too. I ain't got no manners for no sluts. Lying in the car, barely every night. All the way up a sofa total, ride me around the whole world. I was on the E-way with that money and that old girl. Get a little cheaper, you can hit it. Hit it a little harder, get your dance. Hit it from behind, oh my God, shorty, I ain't even lying. But you know about me, playing with the D, girl, I hate you in the zone. Make a movie, how you climaxing in my phone. These guys, they're there every single day. And they just look so good, so professional. And they're all here for one reason, just to be famous themselves. They're in the middle, the capital of fame, the capital of entertainment. They're in Hollywood, and they have only one dream, to become famous. And some of them, they really deserve it. Like these guys here, they're not too bad. Well, it's great to see these superheroes everywhere around here in Hollywood. But sometimes you see some of these not so superheroes, like this super fat hero, and he's the, I think he's supposed to be the super fat man. Let's have a look a little bit around LA again. For example, what's happening out on the streets? Well, in many streets around Hollywood, for example, and especially West Hollywood, I found a lot of places where there is an abundance of fruit, and you can actually have your fruit salad there on the street, or even your juice. And you see them everywhere, and it's a very good thing because you can have all this natural fruit and veggies everywhere you go. But be careful, don't fall for some signs like this one here. Now, yeah, free ice cream. You know, it's not free ice cream. I actually just read the fine print. Exactly, it's not free ice cream. Another great thing over in Los Angeles and everywhere in America is the happy hour. So if you want to save yourself some money, still have some nice drinks and some nice food, it's a good idea to just check these times. Between 4 and 7, it's normally a good time for happy hour, and the prices are normally slashed at least by half. And the decoration in general around the pizza places and everywhere, it's just great. I mean, they're really good in great decoration in the shops, like this pet shop. I mean, great decoration on the window front, and they actually using just paper, just cardboard, recycled cardboard. I mean, and look at this. This is beautiful art. But when you go inside the pet shop, you just realize that they sell just about everything except for pets. Actually, it's not allowed to sell pets over there. And the amazing thing is, this particular window that you see now, where they sell even clothes for their dogs. Yeah, you can buy clothes for your dogs in LA. It's very nice to see a lot of the decorations all around the shops, in many, many shops. They have used a lot of recycled products, some beautiful doors, and lots of recycled furniture. Plus, they do make a lot of furniture out of recycled timbers. Now, look at this restaurant here. It's actually Roma Cafe, and all the tabletops are made out of recycled Oregon. I mean, Oregon is everywhere because it's a native timber over there. And a lot of the places, they have been decorated very nicely, the coffee shops and many, many shops with beautiful recycled and reusable materials. One great thing about cities like Corfu, Athens, Los Angeles and Sydney, compared to some other cities like London or Moscow or other places like this, is that you can enjoy in summertime the beaches right in the middle of the city. Like here in Corfu, for example, you have this beautiful old part of the city here, but people do come and swim in the beaches all around the city. Now we see the same in Athens, where they have these huge music bars, the beach bars, and they have organized beach where you can actually rent yourself an umbrella, you can get yourself a sunbed. Sometimes they give it to you for free as long as you just pick up their beer or they frappe the coffee from the shop. And you have these organized beaches where you can get all those things. Sometimes we don't see that in places like LA or even in Sydney. I think it's a good idea, it's not a bad idea. If you want to pay a few euros, for example, a few dollars to have that amenity, I think it should be there. It's not a bad idea. Now, there are many things that I loved in America, especially Los Angeles, and I have to say these guys are different. For example, when they build an awning for a petrol station, have a look at this. Yes. I mean, I don't know, it looks like a Mexican building to me, or even a Corfu. You see the tiles are very similar here in Corfu and Greece, like they are in this particular petrol station. But now have a look at this one in Beverly Hills. Yeah, the massive piece of concrete. It looks like a UFO, doesn't it? But look at the difference in the prices. When you're in the middle of Beverly Hills, you pay about $4 American for a gallon. Yeah, that's right. But when you just come outside Beverly Hills, you pay around about $2, half the price. It works around about 50 cents Australian per litre, which is really cheap. That's the good thing about America. The fuel is very cheap there. But guess what? Everywhere you go in Los Angeles, I mean, we were at this beautiful marina and this beautiful shopping center, and on the other side of the road, look what we found. What are they? They're oil rigs. They're everywhere. Everywhere around Los Angeles. You're going down to the beach, you find them on the one side of the road, and the other side, it could be, like I said, a marina, or it could be a shopping center. And they're just pumping oil day and night. I didn't see any people there, just the machines working by themselves. Isn't that incredible? Another thing that I like about the Americans is that they look after their trees. Now, who would do this for a tree out on the footpath? What is it? They dressed it. I think winters are getting pretty bad out here, so they put these clothes around the branches of the tree. Another thing I loved in Los Angeles, it was their signs. I mean, am I crazy? Do I like the signs? Who likes the signs, advertising signs? Well, these are signs with a difference. Normally in Australia or everywhere in the world, some sort of advertising firm will just get some plastic and they're just gonna print on it whatever the advertiser wants. But not here in Los Angeles. This is the city of art, and they wouldn't have it. No way in the world. What they do, they paint the signs on the walls. Yes. Now, it could be just a small painting like this, or it could be some decoration in a shop like that. But would you think that they would paint a full sign on a multi-story building in the middle of Hollywood? Yes, they do. Now have a look at this. They are painting this sign, this advertising sign from this movie by hand. A team of artists, a team of painters are just going down on that elevator, painting every single thing by hand. Now this is America. This is what I love about these guys. Another great thing I liked about Los Angeles is the policing. There's no such a thing. I think I've seen 2 police cars in 3 weeks. And I was expecting these police cars to be these massive American muscle cars. And guess what? Have a look. They're just little Fords SUVs. But there is not red light cameras and speed cameras. In the whole Los Angeles, I've noticed only 2. Apparently, that's all there is, only 2 cameras. One thing you have to remember when you travel to America is your insurance. Make sure you get good insurance for health reasons. If something happens to you over there, you have to pay a lot of money. And that's one thing that you probably find that in America it's not as good as Australia. It's not like our Australia with our Medicare. For example, over there, if something happens to you, you're not covered like we have the Medicare in Australia. You have to pay out of your own pocket unless you have your own private insurance if you're an American. If you're a tourist, make sure you do get your travel insurance. It's very important. It might cost a little bit of money, but I wouldn't travel to America without that insurance. And remember, everywhere you go, including Corfu or Athens or LA, a great way to travel and book your accommodation is through Airbnb. It's an incredible service. You can get whatever you like all over the world, and you can get Airbnb here in Corfu as well. And that's all we had with this episode. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week.